just make the video here about tailgating. Now I've had a few subscribers asking tailgating, and quite a few don't understand it because it's a slang word. So those of you who are learning to speak English, tailgating means a vehicle following you dangerously close to your back end, which that's what they call the tail. So that's called it's a slang word called tailgating. So basically what it means is, so the vehicle behind you is dangerously close to the back of your car. So I'm going to give you a few tips. What generally happens is, which happened to me back when I was learning many years ago, three things will happen. To call it the 3 F's. So it's fight, flight, or freeze. So in my case, I got the flight when I was learning to drive. I never forget it to this day, and I'm talking a long time ago now. And probably my old instructor's probably, he's probably not here no more. But he taught me this lesson, and I was absolutely amazed that what he did was like I'd never seen before. I don't recommend you using it. But basically what was happening was I was driving down this road, I was in a manual, goes to second, I struggled to get it to third, so the car slowed down, so the vehicle behind me, this guy, gets dead close, gives it all this, where they've gestured and what are you doing on the road and everything. Anyway, the instructor helps me, helped me to get to third gear, and I got up to 30. But then I went to 35. You'll generally find when you're learning to drive in the early stages, you'll be between 25 and 35. It's a bit of a skill to get it to that 30 mile an hour. Anyway, so he helped me get it back to 30. This guy behind me is really close. And I'm like, whoa, terrified. Next thing, he said, just keep holding, my instructor said to me, keep hold of the wheels. Keep it straight, keep the same space. This fella is really like this close behind, and he was doing all this. It was a single carriageway like this, that way and this way. Anyway, so I was driving like this, my instructor leaned over and switched my lights on. He said, what's this? And I went like that, and I looked back, and the car was disappearing behind me. We just carried on going. I said, what's happened? I didn't know what was happening. He said, what I've done is, he said, it was that dangerous. I've turned your lights on. When your lights come on at the back, well, they look like your brake lights. So him behind thought that I'd braked, and he must have been thinking, because when we looked back, the instructor said he looks a bit puzzled because he couldn't figure out why we kept going while he thought we were braking. So obviously the new cars today, the lights are already on, but it was just a tip that he gave me, and it's stuck in my head for years. Just turn your lights on. If it's dangerous, turn your lights on. If you're not with an instructor, or let's say you're driving on your own or with a friend, you pass your test and you still get intimidated because you're nervous, then just turn off at the next safe junction. Always make it to a left. But generally speaking, they're just like trying to imitate, sort of like dominate you and bully you at the same time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go out now and try and find someone. This is typical, this, when you're looking for something, it never happens, and see if we can go and find someone that's going to give me a, tailgate me. Yeah, so remember the 3 F's: fight, flight, and freeze. That's not what you want. You want to stay calm, yeah, with a concentrated mindset. It's difficult. I mean, when that happened to me, the tailgated me, I must have had about 6 lessons. So I was really nervous, so I understand it's easy to say than do. But that would be a good bit of advice. The other thing I'm going to show you is how to keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you. I'm going to give you another tip, it's the 2-second tip. And I'll give you another tip about the 3-second tip on the motorway. But I'm going to just go up here, and I'm going to find a tailgater. So I always remember my old instructor switching them lights on the car that I was driving. This car I was puzzled myself because I was too scared to look, but I had to look like that. I thought, he slowed right down, and he didn't even dare come near us then. I think he was too embarrassed, you know what I mean, because he couldn't figure out how we were braking, but actually we weren't braking. My instructor just put the headlights on, which means the lights came on in the back. This is in the daytime. Anyway, let's see if we can find, here we go, so what about a tailgater. And generally what will happen is when you look for one, you never find one. But I'll have a go. Remember, the middle mirror, your right mirror, indicate right. Another lane there, just starting off on their journey. Wish them well. Give them plenty of space. And would you believe it? It's empty. Typical, isn't it? here's a little tip for you. When you're stopping in traffic, see the car in front, you want to be able to see the tyres. See those tyres at the back? And you want to see a good part of the tarmac. And that's just in case it breaks down. If it breaks down, you can pull out. That's how we end up with traffic jams. People park bumper to bumper, and if one breaks down, they're all stuck. And that's what causes traffic jams. Only needs one car to be at that distance. And when you're driving at speed on like a road like this is the dual carriageway, the speed limit's 40 miles an hour, you want to use the 2-second rule. And generally speaking, when the white car in front gets to this post with the blue sign on it, when it gets to the back end, you say only a fuel breaks the 2-second rule. So I haven't gone past that lamppost. I'll try it with the green light. When he goes back in and goes back, only a fuel breaks the 2-second rule. If you're still seeing it when you go past it, you're too close. It's a different situation on there's another tip. Another situation is on the motorway. Now on the motorway, it's 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds because at 70 miles an hour, the stopping distance is 315 feet. Which you'd have to Google what that is in meters if you're into meters or car lengths. But you're traveling at 105 feet per second. So it takes 3 seconds. So on the motorway, you want to do 1001, 2002, 3003. Just pick an object. It'll probably be like a bridge or something, or it'll be a sign. And when the car that's in front of you basically goes ahead of you, you want to say to yourself, am I too close? Well, do that 3-second tip, because it's 70 miles an hour. It's a 3 second that you need. 3 seconds. So all you say is 1001, 2002, 3003, and if you're still saying it by the time you've gone past that place that you picked to let the car that was in front of you, that means you're too close. And I can't seem to find the tailgater. It's just typical. You look for one. And I'll go on a lesson later and I'll get tailgated all night. I haven't got time to drive around for long. I'm not feeling too good. I think I've got the flu or something. unfortunately, I've been driving around and I can't find one. I was hoping that someone was going to get close that I can just show you, but basically what it means is the vehicle behind you is driving dangerously too close to the back of your car. As I say, my old instructor showed me that little tip by switching the lights on. A lot of cars now, the lights are on automatically. You've got to be careful. As I say, you've just got to stay calm. I know it's not easy because some of the drivers can be aggressive and they can intimidate you. But the one you want to remember, that when you go on the motorway, if you're following doing 70 mile an hour, it's 3 seconds. And the likes of the roads I've just been on there, it's 2 seconds. The motorway, as I say, is counted as 1001, 2002, 3003, and that's 3 seconds. Well, I couldn't get one there, but maybe I might get another one and stick it up. But for anyone that's learning English, tailgating, because you might see a video saying tailgating, like I'll put on this how to deal with tailgaters, and they'd be wondering what's tailgaters. Well, especially if you're learning to speak English, it's not, you probably wouldn't find it. It's like a slang word. So anyway, I wish you all well. By the way, this is not just for learner drivers as well, this is for the other drivers. I know people who be driving and then they say, oh God, some fella was right, or some woman was tailgating me. So it can happen to anyone. Don't think because you learn to drive it's you because you're dead slow. It doesn't work that way. It depends. Like the other driver, you shouldn't drive. Generally it's down to the fact that they're either late for work. They could have had, like, let's say, an argument with a friend, or or husband or wife, or some family member, or anything, and that can cause them to be get aggressive because they want to get to somewhere, or they're thinking about other things. They're not thinking about what's ahead, what's the dangers ahead. They're only thinking in the head what's just happened. So remember the thoughts. So they're having bad thoughts, and that'll affect the way their emotions will be, which will probably be angry, and that's where the behaviour comes from. You want to take it out on the nearest person who's probably maybe you're unlucky, and they are stuck behind you. Anyway, I hope that helps, and I shall see you in the next video, and it's bye for now.